Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next hour, Ukraine continues to make incursions into Russia, claims to destroy a second bridge in Kursk region. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken reaches Israel to finalize a Gaza ceasefire deal. The Hamas accuses Israel of undermining his efforts. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris to officially accept her nomination as the Democratic Party's presidential candidate at a convention that begins on Monday. And South China Sea tensions escalate. Beijing claims that a Philippine ship deliberately collided with a Chinese vessel. Ukraine's Air Force claimed to have destroyed another strategic bridge over the same river in Russia's Kursk region. Now, this has limited the supply capacity of a Russian group opposing the Ukrainian advance. A video was posted on social media showing a growing cloud from an explosion on a bridge and one of its sections destroyed. Kiev said that it had seized more than 80 settlements in Kursk since launching a surprise strike across the border on the 6th of August. The bridge is the second attacked by Ukraine since Friday. Earlier, military analysts said there were 3 bridges in the area of the Ukrainian army's offensive through which Russia supplies its forces, and that 2 of them have been either destroyed or seriously damaged. As fierce battle between Russia and Ukraine continues, Russia recaptures some of its own territory and captures some parts of Ukraine as well. Russia's Ministry of Defense said it has taken under its control the settlement of Syri-Donivka in eastern Donetsk region. Meanwhile, officials in Russia say Ukraine is threatening the security of nuclear power plants. Dasha Chernyshova is in Moscow with more.
Evacuation is ongoing in Russia's Kursk region. More than 1,700 people have been evacuated from the border areas, according to Russia's Emergencies Ministry. Authorities in the Korneevsky district of the Kursk region say the situation there remains difficult and warn the residents against returning back home. Russian Ministry of Defense said it continued to attack the Ukrainian positions in the Kursk region and in Ukraine's Sumy region. In Belgrade, authorities say several districts have been attacked by Ukraine, resulting in wounds among the civilian population. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said on Sunday that the threat to the security of such facilities as the Zaporizhia and now the Kursk nuclear power plants is created exclusively by the actions of the Ukrainian armed forces. In the meantime, the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, said on Sunday that Ukraine had stationed more than 120,000 troops at its border with Belarus, and Minsk had deployed nearly a third of its armed forces along the entire border. Lukashenko said the Belarusian-Ukrainian border is as mined as never before, and that Ukrainian troops would incur huge losses if they decide to cross it. Lukashenko said that Kyiv had formed powerful forces with the participation of mercenaries, including from Poland, to attack Russia's Kursk region. He also said that Kyiv's incursion is an attempt to provoke Moscow to use nuclear weapons. Dasha Chernyshova in Moscow, reporting for DD India.
Meanwhile, Russia's President Vladimir Putin reached Azerbaijan's capital Baku on Sunday for a 2-day visit. He was greeted by Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev. Putin is expected to hold talks with Aliyev on bilateral relations and international and regional problems on Monday. Now, this marks Putin's first trip to the Caucasus region since 2018 and occurs as Russia aims to reassert its role as a mediator between Azerbaijan and its adversary, Armenia. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is once again in Israel as negotiations continue to secure a ceasefire in Gaza as well as the release of Israeli hostages captured by Hamas. The U.S.'s top diplomat is slated to meet with Israel's officials, including its Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, on Monday. Jagrati Dave has the details.
This latest trip is Secretary Blinken's 9th visit to the Middle East since the start of the war, which was triggered by Hamas's October 7th attack in southern Israel. And it comes at what a senior department official described as a critical time. Negotiations have been ongoing for months, mediated by Qatar, Egypt and the United States. But gaps remain between the two warring sides on issues including who has control of Gaza, and that's prevented them from reaching an agreement. There are fears the conflict could spiral into a wider regional war. The Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah has been exchanging attacks with Israel to show solidarity with Hamas, and Iran has blamed Israel for last month's assassination of Hamas's political leader in Tehran, vowing retaliation. But also front and center is concern for the fate of Palestinians in Gaza as Israel continues its military operations there. At least 21 people, including 6 children, were killed in an airstrike on Sunday, according to Gaza's health ministry. Jagrati Dave in Washington, reporting for DD India.
The U.S. Democratic Party's convention will kick off in the city of Chicago on Monday. Thousands of politicians, delegates and speakers are enthusiastic about officially nominating Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to lead their party in the November election. Earlier this month, she secured enough pledged delegates to become the Democratic Party's nominee and is slated to officially accept the nomination at the convention. Harris joined the presidential race nearly a month ago after President Joe Biden exited the race and endorsed her on the 21st of July. The main part of the convention will take place at the United Center, home to 2 professional sports teams in the city, the Chicago Bulls and Chicago Blackhawks, and has a capacity of more than 20,000. Harris will address the convention on Thursday. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is looking past the convention to the September 10 debate with Harris while preparing by enlisting the help of former Representative Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii. Gabbard successfully dominated Kamala Harris in the debate stage of 2020. Now, Kamala Harris's ascent to the Democratic nomination has been nothing but a surprise after President Joe Biden dropped out of the race. The 4-day event will be like a party inside the convention hall. As the convention prepares for the official nomination of Harris, here are the things you need to know. First up, what is the convention all about? The 2 major U.S. political parties hold a convention each presidential election cycle to officially nominate their candidate and adopt a party platform. Democrats already officially nominated Harris last month in a virtual vote of delegates because of concerns about ballot access in states with early deadlines. Next, when and where is the Democratic Convention to be held? The convention will run August 19 to 22nd in Chicago's United Center. The public speeches and main stage events will run from around 2200 to 0300 GMT each night. How can you watch it? Well, the primetime events will be broadcast on all major networks, streaming services including Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock and Max, the DNC, YouTube and X channels and various other news websites. Who are the speakers? Well, Biden will kick off the convention on Monday night with a bittersweet keynote speech. Former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton will have a marquee speaking slots as well. Former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton will speak as well. Monday to focus on Biden's administration's policy accomplishments. Tuesday will contrast Trump's and Harris's visions for America. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Harris's running mate, will introduce himself to Americans on Wednesday night. Thursday's program, highlighted by Harris's acceptance speech, is titled For Our Future. U.S. Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris embarked on a campaign trip across western Pennsylvania on Sunday, meeting the locals and calling to achieve a ceasefire deal for Gaza. Diplomatic efforts to halt the Israel-Hamas conflict and secure a deal to return hostages held in Gaza have intensified in recent days. Talks mediated by the U.S., Egypt and Qatar are set to continue this week in Cairo. Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz visited with locals in Moon Township, Atuquepa and Kuropolis after holding a rally in Pittsburgh. The Pennsylvania tour takes place with just 79 days left until the 5th November election.
These conversations are ongoing and we are not giving up, and we are going to continue to work very hard on this. We got to get a ceasefire and we got to get those hostages out.
And Kamala Harris indirectly criticized former President Donald Trump on Sunday, suggesting her opponent in the November 5 election was a coward whose politics focused on putting down rivals. The remarks came in a campaign appearance as she toured the critical battleground state of Pennsylvania.
What we know is the real and true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's what we see as strength. We know what strength looks like. That's what strength looks like. Anybody who's about beating down other people is a coward.
Still to come on DD India News Hour. Countries on the African continent are ramping up measures to contain the spread of Mpox virus. An oil spill reported off Venezuela's Caribbean coast. And Ernesto becomes a hurricane again, causing dangerous currents on beaches along the eastern coast of the United States.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Tension escalates in the South China Sea. China's Coast Guard said a Philippine vessel that had ignored its repeated warnings deliberately collided with a Chinese vessel in an unprofessional and dangerous manner. In statements issued on Monday, China's Maritime Security said the same Philippine vessel then entered waters near 2nd Thomas Shoal after being prevented from entering the Sabina Shoal waters. China's Coast Guard said it took control measures against the Philippine ship in accordance with law and warned the Philippines to immediately stop infringement and provocation or bear all consequences. China and the Philippines reached a provisional agreement in July after repeated altercations near the second Thomas Shoal. China has been sharply criticized by Western nations for aggression in blocking Philippine efforts to resupply troops aboard a Navy ship it intentionally grounded 25 years ago. Beijing claims almost all of the South China Sea, including both shoals, rejecting a 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague that Beijing's expansive claims had no basis under international law. And delving deep into maritime traffic management, inspecting passing vessels and testing emergency rescue plans, China's Maritime Safety Administration undertook a 30-hour maritime patrol in the Taiwan Strait over the weekend to maintain navigation order and ensure maritime safety. Over the course of 413 nautical miles, the fleet targeted high-risk zones where commercial and fishing vessels often collide and accidents are prone to occur, cracked down on maritime violations, enforce strict navigation order, and ensure the safety of this vital waterway. The Taiwan Strait is a critical lifeline for China's coastal trade, with a daily parade of diverse vessels navigating its treacherous waters. Marking the end of the 3.5-month-long summer fishing ban, China on Friday lifted a summer fishing ban at waters in the South China Sea and the East China Sea. And William Denzil joins us from Hong Kong for more. William, what more can you tell us about the incident at sea?
Well, the incident, according to Chinese officials, occurred around 3:30 on Monday morning. We've heard a statement released by Gan Yu, a spokesperson for China's Coast Guard, who said it was an illegal incursion, adding that it violated previous agreements in place between Manila and Beijing. And there has been really an escalating war of words between the two sides in recent days, and this certainly the most significant action we've seen in recent days, with China accusing the Philippine Coast Guard vessel of deliberately ramming a Chinese Coast Guard and for allegedly ignoring warnings. We're still waiting to hear from Manila in response to this incident, but important to note that this comes just a few days after China's foreign ministry stated on Friday that any provocations, any deemed provocations in the South China Sea, hotly contested between Beijing and Manila, would be met with strong and resolute measures.
The question also is, William, why are such incidents happening with an alarming regularity?
This has been a long-standing dispute, not just between the Philippines and China, but a number of nations in the region. The Spratly Archipelago and these particular shoals fall within the Philippine economic zone, 200 nautical miles off the coast of the Philippines. So the Philippines very much claims ownership of this particular shoal in the South China Sea. As you rightly mentioned, China claims control of much or most of the South China Sea for itself. So that is why there is this long-standing dispute, despite, as you mentioned, the Court of Arbitration ruling against Beijing back in 2016. That was a ruling that was rejected by China. So these disputes very much remain. And why we're seeing this escalation now? Well, a major reason, according to analysts, is because of Philippine efforts to resupply this grounded Navy ship that's been there for around 25 years, but of course needs constant supplies. This has been an issue that has been a constant source of tension. It certainly irks Beijing, so perhaps a major reason why we're seeing this escalation in what has been a long-going, bubbling source of tension.
All right, we'll leave it there. William Denzil in Hong Kong. Thank you. Appreciate it. Moving on, South Korea and the US kicked off annual summertime military exercises on Monday, seeking to boost their joint readiness to fend off North Korea's weapons and cyber threats. The Ulchi Freedom Shield exercises, set to end on 29th of August, come as North Korea races to advance its nuclear and missile programs and tries to launch reconnaissance satellites as well. The drills will reflect realistic threats across all domains, including the North's missile threats, but also GPS jamming, cyber attacks, and other lessons learned from recent incidents, the two countries' militaries have said. South Korea will separately carry out the simultaneous government-led Ulchi civil defense drills under the scenario of a nuclear attack by the North. Seoul and Washington, D.C. say the exercises are defensive and a response to the North's threats. Now, African countries affected by the Mpox virus are ramping up measures to ensure the virus is contained. The virus has so far spread to at least 13 countries on the continent, and the World Health Organization warns of a potential to spread even further. Sweden and Pakistan have also reported cases, with the EU announcing a travel advisory to the affected countries. Isabel Nakiria has more in this report.
In response to the outbreak, affected countries in Africa have created incident management teams to step up preventive measures. Teams have been deployed at borders and at the airports to carry out testing and detection, contact tracing, and increasing awareness to ensure compliance. Isolation units have also been set up at the borders, where suspected cases are monitored as samples are taken for testing. Now, the World Health Organization says it's releasing $1.5 million in the coming days to respond to the emergency. The WHO is also speeding up the process of listing the vaccines available for emergency use. Countries in the global north have been urged to donate stockpiles of smallpox vaccines, which can also be used for monkeypox. Isabel Nakiria in Kampala reporting for DD India.
Now, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been continuously monitoring the Mpox situation in the country in the wake of the outbreak of the disease prominently in Africa. As advised by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Dr. P.K. Mishra, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, chaired a high-level meeting to review the status of preparedness for Mpox in the country. It may be noted that the World Health Organization has again declared Mpox as a public health emergency of international concern on the 14th of August in view of its prevalence and spread across many parts of Africa. The high-level meeting was briefed that as of now, there is no reported case of Mpox in India. As per the present assessment, the risk of a large outbreak with sustained transmission is low. Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Dr. P.K. Mishra, directed the surveillance be enhanced and effective measures be taken for prompt detection of cases. He directed the testing laboratories network to be geared up for early diagnosis. Currently, 32 labs are equipped for the testing. An awareness campaign will be taken up regarding preventive public health measures against this disease. Moving on, Sudan is sending a delegation to Cairo for discussions with U.S. and Egyptian officials on Monday. It'll keep open the question of participation in peace talks aimed at ending a 16-month war. The government, which is controlled by the army, is fighting the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF, for control of the country. The government said it would not attend the peace talks in Switzerland unless a previous agreement struck in Jeddah is implemented. The US-led talks aim to end the devastating war that's broke out in April 2023 and address the crippling humanitarian crisis that's left half of Sudan's population of 50 million facing food insecurity. The army on Thursday preempted a key topic of the talks when it said it would allow an RSF-controlled border crossing into Darfur to be used for aid delivery. Indonesia's President Joko Widodo will name some new ministers, including for energy and investment, in a reorganization of his cabinet on Monday. Jokowi will leave office in October, replaced by President-elect and his Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto, who won the election in February. President Palace officials said 3 new ministers would be named on Monday, along with new heads of some government agencies. The local media reported current Investment Minister Bahlil Nahadalia would become Energy Minister. He'd be replaced in his current portfolio by Rozan Roslani, a former ambassador to the United States who was the head of Prabowo's election campaign. Reports also said that one of the agency chiefs expected to be appointed on Monday is Dadan Hindayana, a professor at Bogor Agricultural University, as head of the new National Nutrition Agency that will implement Prabowo's flagship policy to give healthy meals to more than 80 million school children. To some weather updates now. Ernesto regained hurricane strength on Sunday. That caused dangerous high tides on beaches along the U.S. East Coast and Canada. The additional intensification is expected over the next 12 hours. Hurricane Ernesto was last tracked 815 miles away from Canada, moving with wind speed of 120 kilometers per hour. The center of Ernesto will pass near southeastern Newfoundland late Monday into Tuesday morning, which could bring windy sea waves and rain. Ernesto is the 5th named Atlantic storm of what is expected to be an intense hurricane season. And Turkish firefighters and volunteers battled the blaze that broke out in the country's southwest. The firefighting efforts continued through Sunday night. 2 large fires that had been continuing since late on Thursday, one in the western province of Izmir and the other in the northern province of Bolu, were contained earlier on Sunday. Turkish authorities warned of a high risk of further wildfires in northern and western Turkey for the next couple of days because of high temperatures, low humidity and strong winds. And now take a look at what else is making news around the world. An oil spill appeared off Venezuela's Caribbean coast has contaminated a bay of the country's north-central coast in the Caribbean Sea. The spill poses a constant threat to marine life in the area, with the potential to severely impact the ecosystem of the sea. Efforts to contain the spill are underway, but the extent of the damage to aquatic life remains a pressing concern. This environmental disaster highlights the ongoing risks associated with oil extraction and transportation in vulnerable coastal regions. The leader of Russia's Chechnya region, Ramzan Kadyrov, gets a Tesla Cybertruck with a machine gun mounted on top, saying he would send it to the Ukraine conflict zone. Kadyrov, known for extravagant publicity stunts, he preys on both the vehicle and Tesla Motors chief executive Elon Musk on the Telegram messaging app, calling him the strongest genius of modern times. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India's top court to hear the case of an alleged rape and murder of a Kolkata doctor on Tuesday. 500,000 pilgrims visit the Amarnath shrine to offer prayers to Lord Shiva. And India celebrates the festival of Raksha Bandhan. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. A quick recap of the headlines. Ukraine continues to make incursions into Russia, claims to destroy a second bridge in Kursk region. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken reaches Israel to finalize a Gaza ceasefire deal. The Hamas accuses Israel of undermining his efforts. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris to officially accept her nomination as a presidential candidate at the Democratic Party's convention that begins on Monday. And South China Sea tensions escalate. Beijing claims that Philippine ship deliberately collided with a Chinese vessel. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar arrived in Kuwait on Sunday. As India's External Affairs Minister concluded his visit, he had an interaction with the Indian community in the country. Taking to social media platform X, he commended the achievements and contributions to India-Kuwait relations. The Indian minister also met Kuwaiti Foreign Minister Abdullah Ali Al Yahya last evening. The two ministers took stock of the broad-based partnership covering political, trade, investment, health, education, people-to-people and connectivity. In a post on the micro-blogging site X, Minister Jaishankar thanked his Kuwaiti counterpart Abdullah Ali Al Yahya for the warm welcome and also called on the Crown Prince of the State of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Sabah Al Hamad Al Mubarak Al Sabah. During the meeting, he extended greetings from India's President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The minister also called on Sheikh Ahmad Abdullah Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah, the Prime Minister of Kuwait. Writing on social media platform X, Minister Jaishankar said he conveyed the greetings of Prime Minister Modi and acknowledged the deepening of India-Kuwait ties. India's top court has taken suo motu cognizance of an alleged rape and murder of a doctor at the R.G. Carr Medical College in Kolkata. The case will now be heard by a bench led by Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud on Tuesday. The decision to intervene came after two Supreme Court lawyers, advocates Ujjwal Gaur and Rohit Pandey, penned a letter to the CJI on Thursday urging him to take immediate action in the case. In their letter, the advocates called for the urgent need for the highest court in the country to step in, given the gravity and seriousness of the incident. With nationwide aggression over the rape and murder of a doctor in Kolkata, the National Integrated Medical Association organized a candle march in the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh to pay tribute to the victim of the gruesome incident that took place at Kolkata's R.G. Carr Medical College and Hospital. And Prasenjit Bakshi joins us from Kolkata for more. Prasenjit, how is the law and order situation now in the city after a curfew was imposed to prevent further unrest there?
Look, government has imposed Article 163 of the new law, but the point is that when it has become a anger of the people, people are now expressing their anger in different way. Yesterday, the entire Kolkata, even after incessant rain, the entire Kolkata was under the I should say that it was seized by the people of Kolkata. Today again, the doctors will march to the towards the headquarters of Kolkata police, that is Lal Bazar, because some of the senior doctors are summoned as they have expressed their anger through the social media platforms. So such type of activities are going on, and the one-point agenda is the justice for the deceased lady doctor, and as long as the justice is not either by the CBI, the investigating agency, or the judiciary, the doctors will be in strike, and today also the entire Kolkata and West Bengal OPD services is disrupted except the emergency services. So now it has become not only the issue of the doctors, but issue of the general people of Kolkata, of West Bengal, Ramesh.
As you say, Prasenjit, public anger is spilling out on the streets of Kolkata and elsewhere in West Bengal. And talking about the investigation, how is the probe coming along?
Look, immediately after High Court given the responsibility to CBI, CBI started investigating from all possible angles. They are using different scientific measures. They are using the medical technology, latest technology to identify the persons behind this. So this is going on, and one of the major, I must say that connect of this entire case, the former principal of the Arjikar Medical College, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, he is under scanner for the last 72 hours. Even today he is called for interrogation. So the CBI is trying to find out not only just from a crime angle, but using all scientific methods, they are trying to pinpoint that why this has happened, why such cruelty, and who are the persons behind this. Ramesh.
All right, we'll leave it there. Prasenjit, thank you. Prasenjit Bakshi reporting there from Kolkata. In other news, markets in India are bustling with Raksha Bandhan festivities. Kriti Vadhera explores the latest trends in Rakhis and the sweets that add a dash of flavor to this celebration of sibling love.
The festival of Raksha Bandhan is synonymous with the bond of protection and love between brothers and sisters. This year, the markets are brimming with innovative and delightful options for shopping that cater to every taste and style. From traditional to contemporary, there's something for everyone. Handcrafted Rakhis with intricate designs studded with pearls and gemstones continue to be a favorite among those who cherish tradition. Meanwhile, eco-friendly Rakhis made from organic materials like seeds and clay are gaining popularity, allowing you to celebrate sustainably.
We have a tradition to tie Rakhi to Lord Krishna also, so I have purchased one for him also. And besides this, I'll be buying some gifts for my brothers.
It has an emotional relevance because we want to celebrate the bond and togetherness we have with our brothers and sisters, with our siblings. So it's definitely special, and it also gives us, as sisters, a very good way to get some cash out of their pockets. So yeah, it's a special day.
Raksha Bandhan is incomplete without indulging in some mouth-watering delicacies. Traditional sweets like laddus, barfis and kaju katli remain evergreen choices. However, this year sweet shops are introducing exciting new varieties to tempt your taste buds. There's also a rise in demand for healthy alternatives like sugar-free mithais and gluten-free sweets, ensuring everyone can enjoy the festive treats guilt-free. Special gift items in dry fruits and healthy snacks is in much demand.
Right now, flavor of the market is dry fruit. People are being diet conscious these days, for we have made special gifts of dry fruits and berries.
Women eagerly applying henna on their hands during Raksha Bandhans is a cherished tradition filled with joy. The detailed patterns add an elegant touch to their festive look, reflecting excitement for the celebration.
I like Raksha Bandhan because I like to put mehndi on my hands.
As families flock to the markets, there's a palpable excitement in the air. Vendors are pulling out all the stops to showcase their best offerings, and customers are enjoying the myriad of choices available.
With unique Rakhi designs and special gifts to choose from. This year's Raksha Bandhan will sure to be a memorable one. Whether you choose anything traditional touch or maybe new or exciting, the market has it all. With camera person Shiv Suman, I am Kriti Vadhera reporting from New Delhi for DD India.
And Kriti Vadhera now joins us from New Delhi. Kriti, for the benefit of viewers joining us from around the world, tell us more about the festival itself and its place in Hindu culture.
Well, good morning, Ramesh. And first of all, greetings to entire global viewers of DD India, to DD family, and to you also on this auspicious festival of Raksha Bandhan. Well, to begin with, when it comes to Raksha Bandhan, it is a festival of love and affection among siblings, in between siblings. And when I talk about the presence of this festival in Hindu scriptures, so it is right from the period of Mahabharata, where we can witness, where we have seen that Draupadi has tied a talisman on Lord Krishna's hand. So many such mythologically rich stories are there in Hinduism, which reflect the presence of this special bond between siblings, brothers and sisters. So today, yes, it is the auspicious festival of Raksha Bandhan, and Raksha Bandhan is always associated with the special time, special Muhurat, as we say in Hindi. So it comes in Shravan Mas. Shravan Mas is again a very mystically, spiritually rich month in Hinduism. It falls on the last day of this Shravan Mas, and today is the last day of Shravan Mas. It's a full moon night. So on this special day, this festival is celebrated. Sisters tie a talisman, a thread of love and affection to show their care towards their brothers, and on the other hand, as a reciprocation, brothers give them a sense of protection, love and care. So this is the festival which India is celebrating today, and the markets were seen to be full of enthusiasm, and with all sorts of beautiful gifts and sweets which are offered on Raksha Bandhan. And to bring it here, that again Raksha Bandhan, as I said, it's connected with special time, when to tie this talisman, this thread of Rakhi, which we say in Hindi, on our brother's wrist we tie. So today that special Muhurat and time would be falling after 1:30 p.m. So as of now, in morning only, we have seen that many people have started coming to sweet shops, buying special gifts. So this is what we are witnessing here in market areas of New Delhi. And to tell you here that, yes, the world is turning organic, and we are talking about gluten-free sweets and dry fruits. All that was also seen in the market areas. And today morning, a very special Rakhi I have seen in market, which I would like to show my viewers. And it is made of flowers. It's a floral Rakhi. I would like to request my camera person to zoom in here. See, people have been talking about sustainability, and plastic banned Rakhi is also in the trend. So this is a floral Rakhi which we have seen here in the market. So with such special preparations, all Indians are ready to celebrate this poised festival of Raksha Bandhan.
Indeed, on that festive note, Kriti, thank you, appreciate it. Kriti Bhatter reporting there from New Delhi. In other news, more than 500,000 pilgrims have visited the holy Amarnath shrine this year to offer prayers to Lord Shiva at the 3,880-meter high cave shrine located in the Anantnag district of India's Jammu and Kashmir. The pilgrimage was suspended on the Baltal route following heavy rains on Sunday. And with this, the pilgrimage stands suspended on both routes. The Amarnath pilgrimage commenced on the 29th of June, and the 43-day pilgrimage concludes on Monday. The Amarnath Yatra attracts lakhs of pilgrims every year who visit the site during the months of July and August, coinciding with the Shravan month of the Hindu calendar. It's the only time in the whole year when the Amarnath cave is accessible. And Shabbir Dar joins us from Srinagar. Shabbir, tell us more about this year's pilgrimage. What's the latest you can share with us?
Yeah, good morning. This year, the Yatra was made because after many years, we had a huge footfall of pilgrims visiting the Himalayan cave, which is actually this pilgrimage is not only a unique festival for the Hindus, but it has a unique syncretic, associated with the syncretic culture of the Kashmir Valley. So this year, a lot of arrangements were put in place by the administration and the local people who help the pilgrimage to ensure that they have the safe and secure journey to the cave. So after many years, as I say, a lot of people have visited this cave because of the peaceful and security situation has improved in J&K, which has given this confidence to the pilgrims to take this, trek up to the Himalayas. So administration has put in place a lot of arrangements. And this morning, as the holy mace, the Chadi Mubarak, which is the saffron-robed holy mace of Lord Shiva, which reached to the holy cave along with the Mahantas and the sadhus, performing the ritual tradition, prayers, rituals. So this marks the end of the 52 days, Amarnath Yatra. And as you know, this is the festival of Raksha Bandhan. And on this day, the Amarnath Yatra usually concludes. And this year also, the Yatra, the puja in the cave has just concluded, because after the sunset, the puja starts, and it has, as I heard from the sources, that the puja concluded, and the people, the sadhus are about to come back from the cave, so which marks the close of this Yatra.
So as Shabbir Dar is reporting from Srinagar, the annual Amarnath pilgrimage has concluded. Shabbir, thank you. Appreciate it. In other news, the India Meteorological Department has issued an orange alert for Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. The authorities have also predicted heavy rainfall over Jammu, Marathwada, coastal Andhra Pradesh and Yanam on Monday. Squally weather with wind speeds reaching 35 km per hour to 45 km per hour is likely to prevail in many parts of East, Central and Southeast Arabian Sea along and off Karnataka, Kerala coasts. Meanwhile, hilly regions of India such as Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand are to witness fairly widespread to moderate rainfall during the week. And still to come on DD India News Hour. India's finance minister to review the performance of public sector and regional rural banks. Holger Rune becomes the first player from Denmark to reach an ATP Tour semi-final. And Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone expects a tough match on Monday against Villarreal in their first league match of the season.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is said to convene a crucial review meeting on Monday to assess the performance of public sector banks and regional rural banks. Now, this meeting aims to evaluate key financial metrics and the effectiveness of various government schemes, ensuring that these financial institutions are aligned with the economic goals. The minister, along with other participants, will review deposit growth, the credit to deposit ratio and asset quality, which are vital indicators of the bank's health. The meeting will also cover initiatives for micro, small and medium enterprises, performance under government schemes, recent interventions and any pending issues that require attention. Asian stocks are moving slow on Monday after global equities enjoy their best week in 9 months on expectations that the U.S. economy would dodge a recession and cooling inflation would kick off a cycle of interest rate cuts. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan, stocks outside Japan edged up 0.2%, having rallied 2.8% last week. Japan's Nikkei slipped 0.4%, however, that followed a near 9% bounce last week. And now to all the news from the world of sport. Holger Rune and Jack Draper's run in the quarterfinals and becomes the first Danish player in ATP Tour to reach a semi-finals. In the first ever meeting on the tour, the Dane defeated the British #1 in straight sets during the quarterfinals in Cincinnati. Rune dominated the match as he won 6-4, 6-2 after taking his chance on the only break point of the first set, which put him 3-2 up. The match went on for an hour and 16 minutes, making it Rune's shortest match at Cincinnati Open 2024. Rune will next face France's Tiafoe in the semi-final to secure a spot in the final. Aryna Sabalenka beat world #1 Iga Swiatek for the first time this season to secure a spot in the Cincinnati Open final. The pair had met twice before in 2024, but Sabalenka had lost both. This match was the first time Sabalenka beat Swiatek in straight sets, finally getting the best of her rival 6-3, 6-3. Sabalenka, who is in her first Cincinnati Open final, said that she feels she had finally broken the wall. Sabalenka is now set to lock horns with Jessica Pegula in Monday's final, who beat Spain's Paula Badosa 6-2, 3-6, 6-3 in the other semi-final. Reigning Premier League champions Manchester City begin their campaign with a win against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. On Sunday, Erling Haaland, who made the 100th appearance for Manchester City, opened the scoring with an 18th-minute goal. In the second half, Chelsea tried to fight back when Nicholas Jackson received a deflected ball from Manchester City's goalkeeper. However, the Senegal forward was found to be offside. When Chelsea failed to fight back, Mateo Kovacic sealed the deal for Manchester City as he scored another goal for the team in the 84th minute. Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone expects a tough match on Monday against Villarreal on their first league match of the season. However, the Argentinian coach said the team has been training with a lot of enthusiasm and hope ahead of the new season. Simeone also said the characteristics of Argentinian forward Julian Alvarez are aligned with the DNA of Atletico Madrid. The arrivals of Argentinian forward Julian Alvarez from Manchester City and deals for Spain defender Robin Lenormand and last season's La Liga top scorer Alexander Soloth are set to inject new energy into Diego Simeone's decade-long project that looked desperately in need of a breath of fresh air after two trophy-less seasons. Simeone said Real Madrid are said to be the best team of the season and that the rest of La Liga teams will be competing to beat them. Australia is set to host a one-off test in 2027 against England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground to mark 150 years of Test cricket. Australia won the single-innings timeless match played between March 15 and 19 by 45 runs before England won the second match at the same venue to tie the series 1-1. In 1977, the 100-year-old anniversary of the inaugural test was also observed with a test between Australia and England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, with Australia winning the match again by 45 runs. The Oval Invincibles beat Southern Brave in the final to clinch the 100 title for the second consecutive year. The Invincibles became the first men's side to win the 100 back-to-back after they beat Brave convincingly by 17 runs. Brave started the chase strongly but then collapsed from 58 for no loss to 102 for 7 thanks to Adam Zampa's initial breakthrough and Saqib Mahmood's 3 wickets in 7 balls. Will Jacks put on a crucial all-round performance as he scored a 22-ball 37 and took the key wicket off the Brave skipper. Tymal Mills led the Braves' attack, taking 3 for 33. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of DD India News Hub. You can get all the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download it. And let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. You can also check out our website ddindia.co.in. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.